If you were a chick, who's the one guy you would sleep with?
John Stamos.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Do you know that one joke that a lot of guys make, that Ryan Reynolds is the one guy that they would probably go gay for? Oftentimes, there is this prevailing idea that men objectify women. And while that can definitely be true, I do think a more underrepresented idea is how men often objectify other men.
And some men have a charisma that transcends orientation. Paul Newman, Idris Elba, Norm MacDonald.
Zava is definitely one of those charisma unicorns.
Okay, you guys have convinced me. I'll have sex with Zava.
Not necessarily in a sexual or romantic context, but in a sort of idolization. Men want to be seen as desirable by other men, and sometimes in the pursuit of that, they develop crushes on other men who they deem to be a notch above the rest. The ideal man that they can emulate and look up to. Now, the crucial aspect of the man crush is that while it may be devoid of any real romantic or sexual feelings, the strong admiration these men feel often pushes them to adopt behavior similar to a crush. In their eyes, these men are the pinnacle of masculinity. They are often of a certain social class, and they move through the world with a type of ease and confidence that would make anybody envious. Maybe if they were to adopt some of their behaviors, they could become just like the men they admire. The man crush develops into a somewhat obsessive need to be around the objects of their admiration and soak up as much information and feedback as possible. It's all in a pursuit of transforming themselves to be the ideal man. So in today's video, we're going to explore the man crush. So in most of the cases, the objects of these straight men's admirations are men who uphold a specific type of masculine identity. These are men typically of a higher class with an ability to attract and endear others towards them. They are depicted as being so charming that women want to be with him and men want to be him. The idea that with enough charisma and confidence, even the straightest man could develop a sort of infatuation with another man.
Now I'm getting at you from the sexy librarian over here.
What? Sexy you are. Shut up.
That guy is adorable.
Frank's gay.
Maybe I am gay. For that little peach.
A part of it sometimes stems from jealousy. These men are envious of a perceived ease and privilege that they wish they could have. Sometimes in these scenarios, the men are represented as an ideal to aspire to. It's important to note that these depictions are distinct from bromances. Usually in a bromance, there is a mutual, intense platonic relationship between the men. They both admire each other and have a shared camaraderie. However, in the depiction of these man crushes, they tend to be more one-sided. It is often a confident, physically attractive man being the object of admiration and desire for another man, sometimes without his knowledge.
Jim's been looking at me kind of a lot all week. I would be creeped out by it, but it's nothing compared to the way Michael looks at me.
At the center of the attraction is a strong desire to be more like the man. They want to have the things he has and move through the world in a similar way that he does, which would mean becoming more like them in a certain way. These male characters develop an attraction and strong admiration for other men who they deem as being better than them.
Oh, something's happening to me, Jess. I want to sit at that desk and veto a law.
What are you doing, Nick? Someone else to stop.
Jess, when I put my hand on this desk, I feel sexually proficient for the first time in my life.
Nick, this man stands for everything you hate.
What really draws in these men is the promise or the goal of attaining a kind of idealized version of masculinity. They end up drawing a lot of comparisons between themselves and the men that they admire.
Just stop. Look, this may complicate things, but I'm in love with him.
Shut up.
No, I won't shut up. He smells like strong coffee and going to see a man about a horse.
You're ridiculous, Nick. Let's go.
They want their life and their lifestyle. For example, in New Girl, Nick develops a crush on one of Jess's new love interests. He becomes very infatuated with him because in his mind, his life is so much better than his own.
With no phone, if she's told you. That's my thing, no phones.
Why don't you have a phone?
Because I don't want to be tied to some corporate system. Bad and no one would give me one. I have incredibly low credit ratings.
Yeah. When I was your age, I had a really skinny ponytail, and I think I was living off of selling my own blood.
It's funny. Then what happened? One day you just woke up and you had all this?
Well, I realized I wanted to grow up.
He's wealthy, he's charismatic, has a great job, and is very attractive. And in trying to express his great admiration for this man, he found himself trying to become more like him.
I'm President Miller. You're all fired. Bring our boys home.
Okay, this is how evil geniuses are born.
Do you smell that? It smells like leather and Teddy Roosevelt and wistfulness. I want to wear this cap.
You're not helping me.
Or at least a version of him that he believes him to be in his head. It had nothing to do with romantic feelings or even sexual attraction. Nick developed a crush on him because he saw something in him that he himself believed that he lacked. At that point, when we are introduced to Nick, we're introduced to this 30-something bartender who has terrible credit, is very poor, and has no direction in life.
Brennan, this guy's got a 250 credit score.
You're bringing everybody out? Look at this.
Right here, 250.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been doing this a long time. I've just never seen a score this low. Did you just wake up from a coma?
What Nick saw in just his date was a version of himself that he could be if he did things differently. A version of himself that he wished he could be.
Are you wearing my sweater?
No. Yes. It was on the back of the chair, so I thought the sweater belonged to the chair. I thought it was a chair sweater. Those exist.
What's really ironic about the man crush is that a lot of the reasons why women would be sexually or romantically attracted to these men are the same characteristics that draw in other straight men. So like we've discussed before, the fact that they are attractive. Yes, men can acknowledge when other straight men are attractive and even be more willing to form a relationship with them because they think they are attractive.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, Jamie. Hey. Wow. You just come from working out, or are you naturally veiny?
Pull it together, Frank.
All right. Okay. Good to see you, man.
Thanks.
Because they are muscular, because they are tall, because they have a lot of money, because they have a good job. All of those characteristics which women might want in a man that they're trying to date are qualities that straight men might want in another man that they want to form a relationship with.
Marry him just for his David Hasselhoff impression alone.
You know I'm going to be doing that at parties, right?
You know what I like most about him, though?
What?
The way he makes me feel about myself.
In The Big Bang Theory, Leonard meets another world-renowned physicist who is in a lot of ways his complete opposite. He has a lot of similar interests with Leonard, but he's also really tall and really hot.
Look, the guy was just in the right place at the right time with the right paradigm-shifting reinterpretation of the universe. He got lucky.
In more ways than one. He's a very handsome man.
Doesn't do anything for me. If I was gonna go that way, I'm more of a Zac Efron kind of guy.
Leonard is initially very jealous of him because his work far exceeds the work that he has been doing at the university his entire career. The jealousy becomes even more heightened when he realized that not only is he more successful than him, he's also very attractive. But like everybody else, Leonard became infatuated with him because he was really charismatic and friendly.
Hauser said if I wanted to set something up in the photo multiplier lab that you'd be able to give me a hand?
You want to work with me?
Well, if you have a little time, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. Here's my home number. Here's my cell. Here's my office. Here's my parents' number up in New Jersey. They always know how to reach me, so. Congratulations on the MacArthur grant, by the way. Big fan.
Thanks. I'll call you.
Okay. Bye-bye. What are you looking at? You've never seen a hypocrite before?
He wanted to spend more time with him, and he cherished the fact that he acknowledged him and respected him as a co-worker. He really admired him until he eventually developed a man crush.
Actually, he's pretty cool. I mean, not only is he a brilliant scientist, but it turns out he's a black diamond skier. He collects vintage motorcycles. He plays in a rock band.
So, we're in a rock band?
No. We play rock band on our Xbox. Anyway, he said he was going to take me to the gym tomorrow, so I'm going to go practice my sit-ups.
Whoa. Humongous man crush, dude.
Things eventually fell apart when the physicist also developed a crush on his love interest, Penny, and wanted to pursue her.
We're going to explore the effects of tequila shots on a gorgeous 22-year-old woman.
It's not an experiment. You saw what happened last night.
But there does seem to be a lot of overlap in the qualities that women look for in men and the qualities that men look for within each other. And like we've talked about before, another reason why these men may become infatuated or attracted to other men is because they believe that by becoming more like them, by spending more time with them, by adopting their mannerisms and behavior, they can also attain the same level of social standing that they have. So in Victorious, Robbie, who is usually a very socially awkward, nerdy kind of guy, decides to give himself a makeover to look more like Tori's attractive love interest, Ryder.
Yes?
Ew, Robbie, what did you do?
I realized that a guy like Ryder gets girls because of his looks and his attitude. So I makeovered myself.
Because he believes that by making himself look more like Ryder, more women will become attracted to him. In Crazy Stupid Love, our main protagonist decides to emulate Ryan Gosling's character and become more like him in order to have more success with picking up women.
Credit card.
By dressing like him, by adopting his mannerisms, he's hoping to achieve the same social standing.
Did you sleep with him?
Jesus God!
Yeah, probably.
What? You would? What?
In the office, Michael has a huge crush on Ryan.
In prison, you are somebody's bitch. Oh, and you, my friend, would be the belle of the ball. Don't drop the soap. Don't drop the soap.
Michael, please.
Michael's infatuation with Ryan seems to stem from the fact that he thinks Ryan is so much more attractive and cooler than the other people in the office. Michael, in a way, kind of looks up to Ryan and wants Ryan to also think he's equally as cool.
But then I got an email from Ryan that he was coming back to town, and I called the temp agency and I told them I will pay you any amount. Just give me Ryan Howard. Give him to me. I want him. I need him.
And you got a goatee.
I did.
Did you get that after you helped me move and you saw mine?
Yes. Goatee.
The infatuation festers into a prolonged crush and obsession.
Who's this other woman, Ryan, who you refer to here as just as hot as Jan, but in a different way?
Not a woman, just a cool, great-looking best friend.
In Friends, Chandler and Joey become infatuated with Monica's boyfriend, Richard. They want to spend more time with him and hang out with him as friends. They admire him and develop a sort of friendly camaraderie with him throughout the process.
Your boyfriend is so cool.
Really?
Yeah, he let us drive his Jaguar. Joey for 12 bucks, me for 15.
Wow. He must like you the best.
Oh, and what about that thing he did when he tipped the guy who showed us to our seats? You never even saw the money. It was like this. Hey, Chandler, thanks for showing us to our seats.
You're welcome. Hey, Joey, thanks for parking the car.
No problem. Hey, Chandler.
I think they get it.
Okay.
They also start to emulate and copy a lot of Richard's mannerisms. They want to be more like him because of how much they admire him.
Joey, do you know we can see you from here?
How come Richard looks so much cooler with one of these than me?
Well, for starters, you may want to light it and lose the spatula. Look, it's the artist formerly known as Chandler.
Just trying something here, you know.
So, Joey, why didn't you grow a mustache?
Oh, we flipped for it. I got the cigar, he got the mustache. Well, I figured if we both grew, we'd look like dorks.
But eventually that falls apart because Chandler and Joey saw Richard as more of a father figure than a peer. A key aspect of the man crush is preserving the heterosexual man's sexuality. There can never truly be any threats to their heterosexuality. They aren't actually gay. They are not truly sexually or romantically attracted to these men. They simply admire them and want to be with them. Sometimes to play up the comedic aspect, movies and TV shows will sometimes make some illusion that the admiration borders on obsession in a way that can be perceived as genuine homosexual attraction.
He's good.
If only he were a woman.
Yeah.
But ultimately, You're still left acknowledging the character's heterosexuality and feeling safe in that because the character will never act in a way that truly insinuates any homosexual attraction. They might say that they are gay for these men, but gay in that context simply means a strong admiration, no true sexual attraction. I made a video a couple months ago and delved more into the bromance dynamic. A key aspect of the bromance is the homoerotic overtones, which are very much present in Man Crush. The difference here, though, is that at least in bromance, the men yearn for emotional and physical intimacy between each other. Men want to be physically intimate, whether through cuddling, hugging, or even kissing. The physical intimacy is most times played for laughs or is implied to have happened accidentally, so as to again not threaten the men's heterosexuality. And their need for emotional intimacy is also frequently played for laughs. It is not seen as something that two heterosexual men should request from one another. That's exactly why the man crush is so distinct. It's not asking for any meaningful intimacy. It is fueled by envy and admiration, and oftentimes is heavily one-sided. But that's it. Let me know what your thoughts are below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.